Second test of three between the Black Caps and England. Whether you're watching on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel or listening on talkSPORT 2, thank you for joining us at the spiritual home of New Zealand cricket, the Basin Reserve. Smith again, and Harry Brook has just taken a little step to the leg side and carved this ball up and over extra cover, and it's gone all the way for six.
That's bounced in the middle of the road, John. That's bounced in the middle of the road. That red car, that's going past. It's just bounced just short of that in the middle of the road. That's massive. That is an absolutely massive hit from Harry Brook. He's come down the wicket, stayed on the inside, and eased it over the top of extra cover, and it's gone over obviously over the boundary, over the big green fence, that's the security fence that's keeping everybody into this ground, and the big roundabout, which is a 3-lane roundabout, all the way around this ground. It's landed in the middle of that road. So this ball will likely be changed because it's bounced off the middle of the concrete.
It's incredible, really, as O'Rourke bowls, and here's Brook shifting the game forward. He's in fourth gear and thriving. He's done it for the second time in the match, where he's given himself room outside leg stump and hit a straight ball over extra cover for six, almost down to Adelaide Road. Unbelievable cricket, 117 for 4. And lunch, not far away, Katie, but it's okay to play shots like that now.
Well, that's the belief that Brendan and Ben Stokes have put in the side. Just that shuffle away and said, I'm going to swing my hands through the ball. He's got such a beautiful swing.
He's giving the cars a bit of a hurry up around the Basin Reserve. For those of you who don't know, there's a circle of cars that go around it all day, as this ball is a bit closer to him, and he's onto the back foot and clipping it down to final. It's a third man. Brook is 50. Another superb, entertaining innings. Some defence, a lot of attack. He's faced 47 balls. Ben Stokes stands on the balcony and applauds him. 5 fours, 2 sixes, Brook 50, England 118 for 4.
Just the control he's had, the commitment to his game as well. I feel like he's been stiller in terms of being over top of the ball and using his feet well. I think England looked at these conditions and they said, well, the one that nibbles around is our danger one, but anything else we're just going to continue to go for. Read a great story actually about Harry Brook, loves baseball.
Really? Here's Pope on strike again for the first time since he was hit by O'Rourke, and he gets a ball which is over pitch, turns it to long leg where Smith fields. Pope 26, 119 for 4.
Yeah, so you talk about different sports. He's an ambassador for Major League Baseball in Europe, and he spent some time a couple of years ago with the Cardinals over there, and he had a challenge all day to learn to see how far he could actually hit a baseball with a baseball bat. And when you won't be able to see it on radio, but when you see his bat, he's got a really thick end of his handle, and that means it allows him to counterbalance. So he uses it, looks very much like a baseball bat, obviously with the long lens of the blade.
Here's Henry, and he is beaten at Harry Brook, who's turned inside out. He's turned square a little bit there and beaten past the outside edge. And Brook just has a little look at the pitch, does a bit of gardening. Punch of the gloves with Ollie Pope. And that is a fantastic over from Matt Henry, who's beaten Harry Brook twice.
Good area, good setting the tone that was. Keep that ball in that area. Don't let Ollie Pope have an easy drive or an easy clip off the pads to get a boundary. Stop England from scoring boundaries, get the ball in that area, and you stand a chance with this England team.
Square legs just going back to the boundaries. Smith is in, and this is thrashed at between gully and backward point by Ollie Pope. Continuing with the shots, and he's been proficient in that area. Along the ground as well, so relatively safe. And 4 more to the score, and Nathan Smith, whilst picking up a couple of wickets and challenging the batters, is being punished the moment the other drops a touch short, which gives either of these batters a fraction of width. It's not the fastest, he's bowling in and around 130 kilometres an hour, and he's not the tallest either. There's plenty of effort and endeavour. He's bagging it in.
Here is O'Rourke again, and Matt Henry again, and it's steered brilliantly and cleverly and typically, characteristically from Harry Brook, wide of the slip cordon and down to the unguarded third boundary for 4. Tom Latham does the fetching. Such great hands, such a productive shot for him. England have now scored over 110 runs to the third boundary in the 2 test matches, 499 in the first innings in Christchurch, and New Zealand preferring the third slip or the gully rather than a third fielder, and he does it, plays the shot, same shot again, does Harry Brook. This time it is intercepted by Glenn Phillips, diving to his right in the gully. 164 for 4. Harry Brook on 75. How many did he score 15 months ago? 187, was it? 187, that's right, on this ground. It's an innings, that
It was a great innings, wasn't it?
168 for 4. Grant Elliott's taken the place of Steve Harmison. Absolute pleasure. The first time we've worked together on air is Harry Brook drives, hammers this one over the top of mid-on. Again, he's picked up the length immediately. It's a long carry. And he's not going to get 6 this time, but an emphatic strike over mid-on. Grant Elliott, it's quite, I know it's probably not quite so enjoyable for you watching Harry Brook, but he is a phenomenon, isn't he? I mean, it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, what he does is he just puts the bowler on the back foot. The bowler knows that they're coming for him, and they change their line and length. I think that Tom Latham set a square field in that first session for back of a length or short pitch bowling. When you've got the team 4 down, you should be attacking, you should be bowling at the stumps. LBW, bring those into play. O'Rourke was bowling almost at the hip or even at the chest at times. That takes 2 dismissals out of play.
Phillips, down the wicket comes Harry Brook, dismissively over the top of long on. He didn't even bother to run. He knew from the moment it hit the middle of the bat that was gone. He just checked the flight briefly, smiled and turned his back on the bowler. 6.
Well, that's into the food court. That's into someone's souvlaki or something. That is dominant. Glenn Phillips is laughing in the replay, and I think he's mouthing the words, "That is huge."
And here's one for you. England need 501 to become the first team in Test cricket to score 500,000.
I heard that.
You heard that.
500,000 runs. I wonder if they can, how many of those, what percentage does WG Grace score? They could give it down to a percentage. We need a pie chart. We need a pie chart. Most significant contributors to the 500,000.
Joe Root,
Yeah.
Alistair Cook.
Yeah. The chef.
Indeed. 183 for 4 from 35 overs. It really is quite remarkable. Harry Brook's just dropped his bat at the non-striker's end. Is that what put Matt Henry off?
Yeah, Matt Henry was running in, and Harry Brook, we talk about soft hands. Well, yeah, he's dropped his bat in the path of Matt Henry. At least Matt Henry can see the funny side of it, because he has to go back to his mark and run in again.
Here is Henry thundering in, doing his best, trying hard to clip nicely off his toes by Ollie Pope through mid-wicket. It's a really quality shot. And there's that Will O'Rourke doing the chasing out there. He's flicked it back to Rachin Ravindra. They've gone through for 3, and Ollie Pope reaches 50. 50 from just 65 balls. I keep talking about him being the junior subservient partner. Nonsense really in terms of his strike rates, going at 77 runs per 100 balls, 50 off 65, and that was a super shot to reach the landmark. Absolute confirmation that he's enjoying this remodeled lineup with him at number 6.
Yeah, we call that shot the truck driver. You can imagine having the wheel of a truck and just turning it. That's what he's done. He's just turned it to the leg side. Perfect timing, waited for it under his eyes and along the carpet. Quality Test cricket.
194 for it is, and the first ball bowled by Phillips is driven down the ground. There's an excellent piece of fielding by Tim Southey. It's always been good in the field for New Zealand, his Southey. He dives across to his right at a deepish mid-off, and 52 for Pope. Brook is 93. So they ran a couple there, did they? I think.
Yeah, I don't like this bowling change, guy.
Oh no,
I'm not
so
a fan.
no, I couldn't agree more. Here's Phillips bowling from the RA Vance stand end, and Pope is playing into the offside. He has another run. 53 for Phillips, 193 for 4, and the applause you hear is for the 150-run partnership. 142 balls it's taken, Grant. Extraordinary stuff from these two, and I think the fact that Phillips is bowling, he bowled the 33rd over in this innings, tells you that New Zealand feel England are on top. 197 for 4, 43 for 4 England were.
43 for 4, and with their backs against the wall, you would say. Now you look at it, 5.35 and over, 197 for 4, with Glenn Phillips bowling in the second session of a day 1 test match on a green pitch.
Part of the problem, of course, is Phillips bowls, and Brook is down on his knee and pulling the ball fine for 4. All just too easy. Brook advances, don't take anything away from his stroke making, it was superb, but Phillips drifting the ball down the leg side, pulled fine of O'Rourke. 201 for 4, Brook is 98, and Phillips has none for 25 from 3. And I think the issue is this, Grant, and we've talked about it certainly on Sport Nation next door, the broadcast that's going to New Zealand, but I'm sure it's been mentioned here on talkSPORT, is that there's no confidence in bowling Saudi. 7 overs, none for 38. He's a foreclosure option. He's taking up overs that O'Rourke should be bowling at the start, in my view, and he's taking up overs, and because there's no confidence, they're having to find other people to fill in.
You go, England are well on top here. New Zealand looked like they were on the defence.
Still bowling to 3 slips in the gully and a man at short leg. Pope faces O'Rourke, gets underneath it and clips it down to the 3rd man boundary for 6. The crowd will tell you, magnificent shot from Pope, short from O'Rourke. The problem with it is he gave the right-hander width, and Pope got underneath it and really flicked his wrists. It flew over the 3rd man boundary for 6. Pope is 69, 215 for 4. Crowd, just a little bit of applause as Brook is onto the back foot. Here's his 100. He throws his head back, raises his hand and raises his bat to acknowledge it. Everyone at the Basin Reserve applauding the remarkable Harry Brook. His 8th Test century, his 2nd century in consecutive innings against New Zealand, and his away record is impeccable. He is a remarkable player. Well done, Harry Brook. 100 not out from 91 balls, 9 4s and 5 6s. England 212 for 4.
Incredible innings. An innings of aggression, and an innings when England needed someone to come in and resurrect it. 4 down, there was pressure. The day 1 pitch, well, he's batted beautifully.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.